Hey football fanatics, my name is Tapelo Ngala and welcome to the Football Space. Today we'll be reviewing one of the biggest games in the South African football calendar. This game is going to be huge, guys. I would argue this is the biggest game of the season. Of course, we saw the Soweto derby, and yeah, that is the biggest game on the calendar, so to speak, in terms of like the glory and the history behind the fixture. But in terms of importance, I think this one is bigger and this one has a lot more at stake. The jeopardy is higher. And yes, you guessed it, that game is Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I believe that Orlando Pirates has to win this game more than Sundowns. Sundowns can lose this game and still win the league. But for Orlando Pirates, if they lose this game, it's going to be very difficult for them to win the league. Because as you know, in order for you to win the league, you have to be nearly perfect because Sundowns are rarely going to lose any games. As a matter of fact, Sundowns, I think in the past few seasons, they've only lost like once or twice in the past 3 or 4 seasons. So it tells you already how good you have to be to beat these guys. Sundowns, guys, even if they aren't playing well, they will keep winning because they've done this before. They've been here. They've been doing this for a long time. You know, they're almost like a prime Man City where it's like, they're almost inevitable. They just keep winning. You wait for them to slip up, but they don't. So yeah, who are the players to watch in this particular fixture? I would say the players to watch are Dion Hotto for Orlando Pirates and Rele Mofokeng. Dion Hotto has been very consistent this season. He's been very good. Like guys, he's been silently putting in 7s and 8 out of 10s. Silently, without saying much, without doing much, without getting the spotlight. He's been performing like a soldier for the Orlando Pirates team, and he's a crucial figure in this Orlando Pirates side. And then I would say in the Mamelodi Sundowns team, it has to be Jaden Adams and Lucas Ribeiro. Jaden Adams got man of the match in the previous fixture, and oh my days, was he brilliant. See, the thing with Jaden Adams is he's such a complete footballer. You know, he's the quintessential number 8 in the midfield. He's the kind of player that you need to dominate games. He's very good on the ball, has an insane work rate, he has good physicality, his football IQ is very high, technical skill is just on point. You know, he can receive the ball in any situation. He's just everything you need in a midfielder. Oh guys, I forgot to speak about Rele Mofokeng. With Rele, in the last 2 games, he hasn't particularly been very good. I think he's starting to overthink it now. I think he's doing a bit too much, where it's like he wants to take responsibility for everything and he doesn't get his teammates into play. Yes, in the derby, he came up with a crucial moment, won the penalty, and hey man, it was very good play from him. But I think in terms of his overall play in the last 2 or 3 games, if I'm stretching it, he hasn't really performed to hit the levels that we know he can perform at. But as a football supporter, I'm not worried because I know that with the level of talent that he has, it's only a matter of time before he gets back to proper form, right? And then going back to the Sundowns, I was speaking about Jaden Adams, right? Yeah, so like I was saying, Jaden Adams he's monumental in that midfield. And ever since Sundowns signed him in the recent transfer window in January last month, he's shown that, you know what, they needed a player like him. They did, because he literally just went from Stellenbosch and walked into the team. And he doesn't even look out of place. He didn't even need time to adapt. First match, just like blows everyone away. And last match, he got man of the match. So it shows you how good of a player he is. He's phenomenal, and he's one for the future in terms of Bafana. So watch out for him. And then Lucas Ribeiro, man, what can I say about that guy, man? Wow. Just wow. What a footballer. Very, very good. Technically sound, you know, skill, change of direction, football IQ, playing in the pockets. He can play anywhere along that front line. You can put him as a striker, you can put him as a more false 9, but either way, he's a striker. You can put him as a winger on the left or on the right. He will do a job for you. He will just play. He's left-footed, you know, and players who are left-footed are usually very, very high in talent because players who are left-footed are rare in football. You know, they're the anomaly. So They always, if you get a left-footed player who's highly talented, you better believe he's going to be very talented. So Lucas Ribeiro is actually one of those players. And Sundowns, funny enough, Sundowns signed him from a European team in Belgium. I can't remember the name of the team, but yeah. They signed him from a European team in Belgium that play in the Belgian Pro League. I think that also speaks to the prestige of Sundowns now, where they are right now. But man, what's a player, man. Me personally, I believe he's gonna leave Sundowns. That's how good he is. He's gonna leave Sundowns. He's gonna join bigger teams, and whether that's in Africa or that's in Europe, we'll see. But he is, wow, what a player he is, man. So in terms of the game in general, I believe that Sundowns are more likely to win the midfield battle, because I spoke about a player like Jaden Adams. But there isn't just him in that midfield. There's Jaden Adams, there's people like Teboho Mokoena, there can be anyone like Batusi Obas, but there also people like Kulise. I think Sundowns just overall have a better midfield. They have better players in their midfield than Pirates. You know, Pirates have very good players in the midfield because their players are more like workhorses. It's very different profiles that you'll see between Pirates and Sundowns. Sundowns go for more technically sound players in their midfield. And then Jose Rivero or Pile on the Pirates, they go for players who are more like workhorses. And when I say midfield, I'm talking about the base. I'm not talking about the attacking midfield. I'm talking about the base of the midfield, the two who sit. So in that base, Sundowns will go more for players who are technical, but can also like scruffle. They can also compete in duels. They can also be physical when they have to. Pirates are going more for workhorses. You know, your Talent Mbata and who's this other guy? Makehleni Makaula. Makehleni Makaula, by the way, also got like man of the match twice in a row in his last 2 games. He's been monumental for Pirates, been very important. But I believe that Sundowns will win the midfield battle. They will definitely win the midfield battle, and which means that they will have more of the ball. But I believe Pirates pose much more of a threat on the transition, because on the transition, Pirates look very dangerous this season. And people often confuse this. You know, when I say a team looks threatening on the transition, I'm not saying that they are a counter-attacking team. I'm just saying that when the situation comes where they have to counter-attack, they will do it with extreme quality, and they will do it with incisive and quick passing. And Pirates are that kind of team. Pirates can still settle into position. They can still play the ball around, provided that their base midfielders aren't necessarily the best progressors of the ball. But they can keep it simple and then give it to Tito. Tito will just drop deep, make the pass easier for them. Tito, which is Patrick Maswangani, he can drop deep, make the pass easier for them, and then just dictate the play from the middle of the park. Because he's the 10, right? He's the connector between the attack and the midfield. But I believe that Pirates pose much more of a threat from the transition than they do in settled possession. Sundowns will dominate the ball. They will have more ball possession. I'm predicting that they will. It might happen differently because, you know, you never know how football can go. You can never 100% predict how football can unfold, right? But Sundowns, I believe, will have more of the ball. They will dominate the midfield, and they will definitely try to force Orlando Pirates to defend in their own half, which I don't believe Pirates will. I think Pirates will go toe-to-toe, and that's not a bad idea because I think player for player, Pirates can match them to a certain level, you know. Even though I feel like Sundowns has slightly better quality players, you know, but Pirates can definitely match them in terms of player for player profile. Yeah, guys, this is a huge fixture, man. And Pirates still have to play Sundowns twice, right? So they have to play them home and away. And I think this game is a home game for Mamelodi Sundowns. So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Pirates should just get there. In my opinion, I think Pirates should just get there, play their game, not be afraid of Sundowns, and give us a good game. I don't think Jose should be conservative. I don't think he should be as conservative as he was in the derby. I think in the derby, the game was a bit slow, it was a bit languid. And Sundowns, they won't do that. They will attack you. They're going to go all out. They're going to want to win this game and secure the league, because they know if they win this game, the league is gone for Pirates. And Pirates, they should go into this game as a team that wants to win the league. Because if they don't, they will lose this game. If they try to consolidate, try to play on the back foot, they will lose this game because Pirates are not that kind of team. They're not built to play like that. Pirates are built to go toe-to-toe teams, attack teams. And Pirates are a very good attacking side, guys. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. From a defensive perspective, Sundowns have kept eight clean sheets. Pirates have kept 7. So it's not really much of a difference between these two teams in terms of how they've performed the league so far. It's just that Sundowns have won more games. You know, they've been more consistent. And not that Pirates haven't been consistent. It's just that Pirates have slipped up a few times. And against Mamelodi Sundowns, that can prove to be very detrimental. You know, they can prove to be very detrimental in the crucial part of the season, because this is a crucial part of the season where you need to be winning as many games as you possibly can. You need to be consistent and you need to make sure that you win all your games, because Sundowns, guys, like I said before in the video, Sundowns will not lose many games. If they lose, they'll lose maybe 1 or 2. So you have to make sure that you are borderline perfect to beat these guys. So yeah, guys, Sundowns really dominate in these situations where like in terms of like this like final third of the season where they have to just constantly win games. They don't miss, because they've done this before. They've been here, they've done it countless times, provided they did that under different coaches. But I think the Sundowns coach is a very good coach. You know, he's someone who's come in, he stabilized the team from when Mangoba was there. Even though I feel like Mangoba was getting good results, I don't think Mangoba was particularly performing well with what he had at his disposal. But this coach is really taking the game. He's taking the team and he's imprinting his idea on the team, because you can see how they play now. Sundowns still play pretty much the same football. You know, it's just different principles, just different tweaks here and there. Because I think Sundowns, when they're in position, it's more of a 3-4-3, but then when they're out of position, it's more of like a 4-3-3. It's like a normal 4-3-3. But when they're out of position, it's more of a 4-3-3 where their wingers invert instead of their fullbacks. Their wingers are the ones that invert with your Ribeiro and Ribeiros, and depends who they decide to play on the other wing. They invert, right? And they invert, and then the fullbacks come up. The CDM drops, makes it a back 3. And then the wing backs just go up, and the fullbacks go up, making it like a wing back system, sort of like a 3-2-5 attacking system. It's a 3-2-5 attacking system, but it's a 3-4-3 also, because it's very flexible, right? But now I don't want to get too deep into the nitty gritty. Like, I don't want to geek out in terms of me being a football fanatic and loving tactics and all that, like that side of the game. But yeah, Sundowns are still pretty much the same team. Their principles are still the same. Possession based, want to dominate the ball, want to dominate the opponent, want to create multiple chances, want to score as many goals as possible. Yeah. So Pirates keeping 7 clean sheets, it's very good. I won't lie. Pirates have improved massively this season. And if there's one team that can beat Sundowns, it's Pirates. And they can do it. They can, because they've done it before. They've done it in finals. When it really counts, they've done it. So in this game, the only thing Pirates should avoid is a draw and a loss. Because a draw and a loss is not going to help their case. A draw is a better result for Sundowns than it is for Pirates. Because if Sundowns draw, then the league starts to become a bit out of reach for Pirates, you know? So yeah, Pirates should really attack in this game. They should really try to win this game as much as they possibly can. It's going to be a very tough game, guys. It's going to be a game where you need, as a team, Pirates need to come together and say, hey man, we're going to go out there and cover every bit of grass. We're going to fight. You know, we're going to really be aggressive, and we're going to try to win this game and take this game and play like a big team more than anything. Because let's face it, Pirates is a bigger team than Sundowns, but Sundowns is a better team than Pirates right now. And even though the gap is not that big right now as we speak, the gap is not that big. But in terms of who's the better team, we all know Sundowns is the better team. In terms of like quality, player for player and whatnot, we know Sundowns is like they're the best in the best in the country and one of the best on the continent. So yeah, Pirates and Sundowns, it's gonna be a very interesting game, guys. It's gonna be insanely interesting. I think they're gonna give us a spectacle. I hope they do, because these are two very good teams, and I think it'll be a tragedy. It'll be a football tragedy. So just turn on your telly or go to the stadium and go watch these two teams fearing each other. I think that would be a football tragedy, in my opinion, personal opinion. So from an attacking perspective, Sundowns have scored 28 goals. Pirates have scored 23. So you see what I'm saying? There isn't really much of a difference between these two teams this season. These teams are really, really, really going for it, and it makes things exciting because if you look at the past few seasons, the league, Sundowns has been blowing everyone out of the water. Like, the league has been so one-sided, it's been boring, man. We wanted to see something like this for a long time, a team that can compete with Sundowns. I think a couple of seasons ago, Pirates did kind of compete with Sundowns, but like I said, you have to be borderline perfect to beat these guys. So Pirates just fell short at the end. Back then when they had Micho and that team with Vincent Pule, Teminko Silosh, when Roche won the player of the season, yeah, that Pirates team was competing with Sundowns when Peter was still there. But ever since then, like, Pirates have fell off, kind of. Yeah, they kind of fell off. But then now with Rivero, they've covered the gap again. And now what they need to make sure that they do is that they stay there. And even in terms of signing players, they need to make sure that they sign the players who have the right profile for them to keep there, or to keep being competitive and to stay there as long as they possibly can, at the very least. Because in my opinion, they have the capability to topple Sundowns, or to usurp Sundowns, to use a bigger word. They have the capability to usurp Sundowns. But Sundowns will not sit back and say, hey, take my position. They will strengthen as well, because they have the financial capacity. Now that they're playing in the Club World Cup as well, Sundowns are going to be much bigger and better now. Do you understand? So I think we need to see more from Orlando Pirates from that perspective. But I think this season we are definitely seeing more from them, and it's a very good thing. From an attacking perspective, like I said, going back to, I almost went off track. From an attacking perspective, I think Pirates should go with a front three of Mabasa and Relebohile Mofokeng, and then with Tito right behind them. I think that is a team that can definitely work for them. With Sundowns, you never really know how they're gonna line up, because they can play Ikram Reyners, they can play up front, they can play Ikram Reyners, they can play Shalolile, they can play Silas. Sundowns have a lot of quality guys. They can field any team, and that team will be good enough to compete against Pirates. So yeah, with Pirates, you kind of know what they should go for, and the highest quality team that they can field at this point in time in the season. So like I said, it's Mabasa and through the middle. On the left you have Mofokeng, and on the right you have Ngota, right? So if you have those three players up front, you have pace, you have IQ, you have movement, you have good finishing, you have basically everything you need to win a game. And then with Tito behind them, just behind them, and connecting the attack with the midfield, I think they can definitely cause Sundowns some real problems. Don't get me wrong, Sundowns can cause problems as well, because they have quality, man. And they have players who can really hurt you. And Sundowns, here's the thing, Sundowns can also play Ikram Reyners and Shalolile, where you play Reyners a bit wider and you play Shalolile a bit more central, or you play Sales wider and play Shalolile or Reyners in the middle, and then obviously Ribeiro on the right, because no one is taking his spot on the right. We all know that, right? So yeah, just to get that out the way. So, and then Sundowns, whoever they choose, even if they choose to put in Neo Maema or someone like that, that is still a quality team that can win any game, whether it's on the continent or in the country, right? So yeah, guys, it's gonna be a very difficult game, I think, for both teams. But the only thing we want to see as football fans is a good football match, man. So like I said, these teams, it's not like they don't have the capability to give us a good football match. They do. They've scored a lot of goals. They've defended very well this season. So all we want from them as football fans is for them to give us a good game. And I don't think that'll be too much to ask for as football fans, right? And I'm not analyzing this as a fan of any team. I'm trying to be very neutral, because I think people who know me know where my allegiance lies or my loyalty lies. But as a football fan, we just want to see a good football game, So yeah. So what is the form of these two teams coming into this game? Pirates have won 4 out of 5 and Sundowns have won 4 out of 5. So you see what I'm saying, guys? Like the difference is not that much. There is pretty much no difference between these two teams. Sundowns are slightly edging it, but it's very, very slim, man. It's very slim. Like this Pirates team can really hurt Sundowns. And Sundowns, of course, they can hurt Pirates as well. Like they can really cause Pirates some serious problems. Because I think, like I said, the weakest point for me in terms of Orlando Pirates is their midfield. Even though their midfield is not weak, but compared to, you look at Sundowns, what they have, they have Mkulis, Maema, they have Mkulis and Maema, Jaden Adams, who else? Batusi Obas. Like that's some serious quality, man. Those are international players. Besides Mkulis, but they have who's this guy? Allende. Whew. That's some serious quality, man. Pirates also, of course, you know, they have Tito, they have Kabelo Tamini, they have Mbata, they have Makaula. Those are very good players, like players who are very capable, like quality players. But in terms of how we judge for, because you know, like in South Africa we have this thing where we say, Sundowns have more players who give you that you know. So Sundowns, I think, in the midfield, that's where they can really hurt Pirates, and they can hurt Pirates on a serious note. But at the same time, these kind of games are the games that suit the Pirates midfield, where Mbata and Makaula don't necessarily have to have that much responsibility on the ball, and their job is more to just defend as much as they possibly can. Win the ball, play the simple passes. Win the ball, play the simple passes. They can really shine in this game, but that's only if they show up. Because I feel like talented Mbata, even though he started the season very well, he's starting to fall off a bit. He's starting to decline, and a lot of people don't see that, but I see it. You know, people will praise him for his wonderful goals and whatnot, and rightly so. You know, those are some rockets, beautiful goals. But he's really been struggling in the past few games where he's losing balls, he's not receiving balls in the right areas, or he's not receiving balls in the right ways when he's in the right areas. So I think those little tweaks, I think Rivero needs to visit those things with him on an individual basis, where they need to go for video analysis, and you can tell him, hey man, here's where you need to tweak your game just a bit, you know, just tweak your game here and there, so that we can be able to play at our optimal levels. Because you know, when you don't have a midfield, you can't play. Anyone who plays football will tell you, if your midfield is dead, then like the whole team dies, because the midfield is the engine, right? And the reason Makaula has gotten these man of the matches is because he's had to work hard. He's had to overwork. He's had to overcompensate for, or had to compensate for, the lack of performance from Mbata in the past few games. And not saying that Mbata has been terrible, but he's not performing at the level that we're used to seeing from him. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the game. What are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen? Like, who do you think is going to win? What is the results? Please tell me in the comments. Tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts. Everything, guys. Like, please get involved in the comments. Let's engage. Let's have discussions. And if you disagree with me on certain things, I encourage you to just comment those things and just disagree with me if you want to. As a matter of fact, I want people to disagree with me so I can revisit my opinions. Yeah, guys. So just like, share, and subscribe, and then tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. Until next time, guys. Cheers.